If you've been feeling like this summer has been hotter than ever, you are right. So July was the United States' warmest month ever, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, N-O-A-A. The agency said an average of 76.9 degrees marked the warmest month since record keeping began back in 1895. July also broke the U.S. record for the lowest average temperature recorded for this time of year. Joining us this morning to discuss is Tracy Wholf. She's an environmental policy expert and founder of WereWHOLF Media. So good to have you on set.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Good morning.
Kind of explain that juxtaposition for us, right? We were dealing with not only record highs, but record lows in the U.S. What does that tell you about things from an environmental perspective?
Well, really what's happening here is a phenomenon called El Nino, which is a naturally occurring weather pattern. This is where you have above average sea surface temperatures in the Pacific. They're starting to dramatically change weather patterns, not only here in the United States, but globally. So this is a big reason why we were seeing those incredible heat domes. I'm going to remind you of the 4th of July when we were all sweating it out, right? It was incredibly hot. So these record temperatures, things that we're seeing in July, this El Nino pattern is going to continue to extend these record highs, and not only just record temperatures, you're going to see record flooding, record drought globally. So this is something that we're going to continue to see as El Nino continues to persist through the end of the year. So I don't anticipate that these records are going to start to change, but those swings, to your point, I think it was a city in Alaska experienced the coldest July. This is what happens when we have climate change. You're going to have areas where you're going to get these dramatic swings up, dramatic swings to the low, and then you bring in something like El Nino, and we're going to see all kinds of records broken.
Well, speaking of records being broken, you're also sounding the alarm about depleting water levels at our largest reservoir in the United States. Explain what's going on at Lake Mead.
Yeah,
and Lake Mead is huge. It's like,
yeah, it is the largest reservoir in the United States. It was built back when we constructed the Hoover Dam in the 1930s. They've never seen water levels drop this low. I believe it dropped to 1,040.5 feet. So that's a few inches lower than the previous record, which we set back in 2022. Now, if you look back at what was going on then, very similar weather patterns. You had drought in the area that was dramatically impacting the surrounding region. You also had record level snow levels from the previous winter. Snow is really important in the Rockies. It's kind of a way that you bank moisture, right? So you get all that snowpack. It starts to melt throughout the spring. It's going to help replenish the reservoir. It's going to help replenish the Colorado River. And then the 20 million people that rely on Lake Mead for their water resources can have that water to recreate in. Also, this isn't just water that you and I are using. This is water that farmers are using, ranchers are using. So it really goes to support a lot of business in the area. And I love to bring this up because I remember covering this story in 2022. Do you remember when those levels were really low?
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Right? It revealed some very interesting artifacts in Lake Mead, sunken boats, some artifacts, and some human remains.
I was going to say the human remains.
That's the kicker.
Yes. So again, this is all happening because we are seeing these repeating patterns of extreme drought, lower than average snow levels. And the areas are just becoming drier and drier and drier. And it's a really big problem, not just for Lake Mead, but then for the rest of the Colorado River. And all of the 7 states rely on the Colorado River, not only for water, but for hydropower and all sorts of things. It's a big problem.
Yeah, I remember I was out there actually covering that in 2022 as well. And, you say these things, but to actually stand where the water used to be,
right?
It was really jarring. Yeah.
Well, not just where you're standing. You look at the rocks and you can see where the water levels used to be. Docks are clearly, you're not able to use them because there's no water. Yeah, it's a very, very big problem, not only for people who love to boat and do all those fun things on the water, but then, like I said, all the other people that rely on it for resources.
Yeah.
Wow. Tracy, always good to have you. Thank you very much. Really great analysis. Appreciate it.
Thanks.